The silence before. The Warzone was a graveyard of dead light. Admiral Marcus Vale stood at the bridge viewport of the INS Iron Vale, watching the debris fields of 17 human colonies drift past, twisted steel, shattered hull plating, the frozen silhouettes of evacuation pods that never made it far enough. 3 years. 3 years since the Vreth had begun their systematic harvest of human-occupied space, consuming every world they touched and leaving nothing behind but wreckage and silence. Admiral. Lieutenant Okafor's voice was controlled, surgical. Fleet is in formation. All 214 vessels confirmed combat readiness. Vale didn't turn from the viewport. He was counting the pods again, an old habit, a penance he imposed on himself every time they entered a contested system. You owe them witness, his father had once told him. The dead don't ask for much. How long have the Vreth been massing here? He asked. Sensor sweeps indicate 62 hours, Okafor replied. They brought everything. 800 warships. Command-class harvesters. We've never seen this concentration outside their home system. Vale finally turned. His crew watched him. Not with fear, but with that particular kind of focus that soldiers wore when they understood exactly what they'd signed up for. They came to end us, he said simply. Let's make sure they're the ones who end. The weapon they never expected. 2 decks below the bridge, Dr. Elliot Marsh wiped sweat from his temples and stared at the pulsing blue core of Project Meridian. It had taken 11 years. 4 failed prototypes. 26 scientists who didn't live to see this moment. The device, roughly the size of a fighter cockpit, looked almost absurdly modest for what it was designed to do. Marsh pressed his calm, Admiral, Meridian is fully charged. Cascade synchronization across the fleet is holding at 99.8%. That's good enough, Vale's voice returned. Sir, I want to be clear, once we trigger the resonance cascade, it's irreversible. Every ship in our fleet becomes a relay node. The combined output will. I know what it will do, Elliot. A pause. Does it work? Marsh looked at his team. 6 exhausted, brilliant people who had sacrificed everything for this question. He thought about the frozen pods outside. Yes, he said. It works. Contact. The Vreth fleet materialized from fold space in a wall of angular black ships, vast, insect-like geometries that blotted out the star behind them. 800 vessels. The sensor screens turned red. On Vreth command channels, intercepted and translated by human AI in real time, a single message repeated, surrender coordinates of your homeworld and the harvest will be merciful. Vale watched the wall of ships for exactly 4 seconds. Admiral. Okafor said. Fire Meridian. The immediate. What happened next lasted 11 seconds. A tone, felt more than heard, rippled outward from the Iron Veil and cascaded through every ship in humanity's battle fleet simultaneously. 214 vessels became a single unified emitter, projecting a resonance field that expanded at the speed of light in every direction, calibrated precisely to the quantum crystalline lattice that powered every Vreth vessel ever built. It passed through the Vreth fleet like a tide through fog. The Vreth ships did not explode. They did not burn. They simply stopped, their power cores collapsing inward in perfect silence, their shields, weapons, life support, and drive systems ceasing all at once. 800 warships became 800 dark monuments, drifting. 11 seconds. On the bridge of the Iron Veil, nobody spoke. The sensor screens returned to their default blue. The red was gone. All Vreth vessels. Okafor's voice broke slightly. He cleared his throat. All Vreth vessels confirm 0 power signatures. No communications. No life readings. Vale looked at the viewport. Where the black wall of the enemy fleet had stood, there was now only open space and the quiet shimmer of distant stars. After. Marsh came to the bridge an hour later, still in his lab coat. He stood beside Vale at the viewport and neither man spoke for a long time. "We won," Marsh finally said, and somehow it came out as a question. "We won," Vale confirmed. Below them, across the debris fields of 17 dead colonies, something had changed in the quality of the silence. It was no longer the silence of loss. It was the silence of a held breath, finally released. The silence that precedes the long, difficult, necessary work of coming home. Vale pressed the fleet-wide comm. "All ships," he said. "Set course for Earth."